Hello, here I am doing some glazing today. Somebody asked if I could share more technique based videos, which is quite difficult because I don't feel my techniques are anything special or unusual. It's pretty standard stuff, but I like to work quite impulsively and fluidly. Here I'm glazing some pots for stoneware, and I'm allowing lots of splashes and drips because I like the strange effects that happen and the unpredictability. So I'm just laying down a basic turquoise here, which isn't a very exciting colour, but once I've put lots of other colours on it, hopefully it will look quite nice. So I've only got small batches of glaze because I like to work with so many colours, and it's much easier to mix than having a great big bucket full of glazes. If you've ever worked with glazes, you'll know that they take ages to mix up. So having 10 or so different colours on the go at one time, it's a lot of work. So small buckets are easier. Now this vase has got quite a narrow neck, so I'm using the squisher thing to put the glaze in there. And I'm going to do the same with these cups. Normally you dip a cup, but I just want this turquoise on the inside, and I'm going to do some other things on the outside. So squish it in like that, and then twist it. So there we go. It's quite a day in the studio today. There's no classes in and no customers because of this virus. The road's pretty quiet out there, and it's rainy and sleety and pretty yuck. So it's a good day to catch up with this big batch of glazing I've got to do. So now I've added a second turquoise to the pots. I'm letting them dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to start adding some stuff to the outside. This glaze is a matte creamy colour, so I'm dunking it in when I can. So shake it off, scrape the surface, because I'll need to clean the bottoms anyway. It's the standard joke, we've always got to clean our bottoms so it doesn't stick to the kiln shelves. And I'm just layering it up with all these different colours. It's quite strange with this coronavirus and having to keep your hands clean all the time, because obviously my job's a messy one and I don't have clean hands. But I'm unlikely to touch my face while I'm covered with these glazes, because glazes are not exactly good for you either. You want to minimise contact with them and not breathe in the dry powders. Be very careful with food hygiene and not to touch anything while you've got glazes on your hands. So maybe that will protect me from the virus. Who knows? So I'm just scraping the wet goop off here. It's always a bit random. You never know what's going to come out. That's the fun of it. So now we've got some more colours added. And this ridiculously bright colour here is a glaze called Solar Orange, and I've had real trouble with it. It just doesn't behave. So there's always an experimental element to any firing. What I've found out is if I fire this one 20 degrees less than I normally fire, it works fine. So it previously only worked on flat surfaces like in the bottom of a bowl, but I'm trying it on the side of a mug here just to see if it works. And let me find the one. That's what it should look like. So fingers crossed. So in each firing I do some tests. I start off with a test tile like this, and this one's got oxides on it. And there's the Solar Orange when it was behaving. And then I move up to doing 1 or 2 pots with it to see how it behaves on a surface. Like there's a little bowl there that'll get glass put in it. And then I get confident with it. On these ones, these are 2 shades of turquoise, purple, green, and oatmeal colour. So I'm always wiping my nose because I've got rhinitis and allergies. But now with all the virus stuff going on, I'm really paranoid about doing it in front of people in case they think I've got the thing. I've got Easter bunnies that I'm glazing white. So it's weird, I can't decide if I'm a fit, healthy person or if I'm somebody with underlying health conditions, because I do have underlying health conditions. Yeah, how much would I bounce back from a virus like this? Certainly it takes me a lot longer to bounce back from colds and bugs and things than it used to. I've always got aches and pains and runny nose and pretty run down with all my food intolerances. And that's another thing, with all the shelves being running out of supplies, I'm quite limited what I can eat. And if I can't get a hold of some of those things, it's a real nuisance. I can't get goat's milk or cheese anywhere within 25 miles. So yeah, that's my protein and calcium down. But hey ho, there's worse things, first world problems and all that. So that's my bunnies glazed white. Now I've got 2 more bunnies and a gravy bowl that I don't like, and they're going to be brown. This is the final bit. This is a fun bit. This is a really nice glaze that's sort of beige but sometimes goes green or brown, and I'm just doing my last dribbles over some of the pots because this one reacts really nicely with other glazes. I'm using my squisher just to get a nice controlled splatter. Might not look very controlled, but I'm pretending it is. It's a messy business. There we go. Of course they might all come out horrible, you just don't know. That's the joy of pottery. There, that's it. One more. The next bit is my least favourite, and that's cleaning all the bottoms. It takes ages. I've got to keep smiling. I'm getting quite tired cleaning the bottoms of these pots. Keep smiling. I just had somebody in who is an elderly person with lots of health problems, and somebody in their household has got a very bad cough and they're very ill. But the elderly people in the household are still going about their business as usual. So, you know, if the very people that we're all being so careful to try and protect won't protect themselves and don't seem to realise, what can you do? So I've just been round wiping down everything again and washing my hands again, and it's, you know, I think I'm kind of going to be okay, but it's the other people, and you can just, hello, camera fell over there, so gotta keep smiling. Here's the pots with all their bottoms nice and clean. Now I am putting glass in the bottom of some of them. I use little tongs, and it is literally just smashed up bits of glass. And these are from Bombay Sapphire gin bottles. The local hotel, the Loch Carron Hotel, saves me their bottles, and I smash them up with a hammer, which is great fun, and then they melt and give this gorgeous effect. So I'm now loading the kiln, and these little pots have got glass in too. Here we are, loading up the kiln. More bits of broken glass, loading. See, the kiln, you get these shelves and these props. There's a load more, and you build them up layer by layer, trying to maximise the space but not allowing anything to touch, because if they touch they'll stick to each other, because the glaze will come out very different colours At the moment it's just pale and powdery, but it'll come out like glass. It's basically glass, and that's why the bottoms need to be clean, so that it doesn't stick onto the kiln shelf. So nearly there. I'm not going to fit all this lot in today. I'll see how much I can get in. Ta-da! There we go. Kiln is full. So I'm now going to put the kiln on, tidy up and go home, and then fire these tomorrow hopefully. But before I go home I've got to tidy up because I've got a class in tomorrow. Probably won't be many people, but we'll see. And I shall be, of course, disinfecting everything. Thank you for listening. I hope that was interesting, my strange ramblings. And see you tomorrow. Stay well, look after each other.